Her name is Cher. She is the daughter of civil law judge Mel Horowitz. His father reminds them that Josh, his son by another woman and Cher's stepbrother, is coming to visit them today. The girl goes to school in a brand new Jeep that her father bought her. She doesn't have a driver's license yet, but she needs to learn how to drive. On the way, Cher picks up her friend Diane, the daughter of rich parents. At school, girlfriends find out about poor grades and the discussion in the report cards. Cher returns home after meeting her stepbrother Josh. The girl is not very happy to see him because she believes that since his mother married someone else, Josh should now consider him a father, and not Mel, Cher's father. Mel calls the kids over and asks Cher where her report card is so she can check her grades. By lying that the timesheets are not ready yet, Cher hopes to reach an agreement with the teachers to change the final grades. All the teachers go to meet the girl, except Mr. Hall, the teacher of the subject of the discussion. He believes that his subject does not lend itself to a girl in any way, and if Cher doesn't manage to change her grade, then Dad will hurt her very much. Cher thinks it's because Mr. Hall is suffering from loneliness. The girl comes up with a great idea how to make the teacher a little happy, and then he might give in to Cher's persuasions and change his final grades. The girl decides to set Mr. Hall up with Miss Geist. Cher writes a romantic note for the teacher from an anonymous source, slipping it to Miss Geist. After reading the note, she is delighted. In a discussion lesson, Mr. Hall lists distinguished students for being late to his subject. Cher proves to the teacher that one of her delays was purely feminine. Mr. Hall agrees with the girl, after which Cher says that after all, Miss Geist was right about Mr. Hall when she said that he was the only one with intelligence in the whole school. Mr. Hall breaks into a smile. Mel greets her daughter, waving a fine notice. Cher's father forbids her to drive unless a man with a driver's license is sitting next to her. The girl invites Josh to go for a ride around the city, from whom she learns that her brother considers her selfish, because even from the acquaintance of Mr. Hall and Miss Geist, Cher wants to take advantage of himself. Having met at school, the girlfriends notice Mr. Hall running up to him. Cher says that she accidentally got it mixed up and in the morning put a bottle of Fanta instead of a thermos of Italian coffee for her father. She doesn't drink coffee herself, but Mr. Hall could share it with Miss Geist. After waiting for the teacher, the girls more or less preen her. Going out into the schoolyard, the girlfriends notice how Miss Geist sits down with Mr. Hall, treating the woman to Italian coffee. From that moment on, as Cher had predicted, the grades in the discussion class improve. The whole class, because Mr. Hall started dating Miss Geist. Looking at the report card, Mel is proud of her daughter that she manages to earn good grades without retaking subjects. A new student is brought in for a physical education lesson. Looking at her, Cher and Diane decide to make a princess out of this little girl, and also introduce her to some nice guy, because while Ty is in the company of such girls, her social status is much higher than when she first arrived here. In the dining room, the new girl meets Travis, which she tells her friends about. Cher is against Ty's choice, because Travis is a drug addict and no self-respecting girl would date someone like that. Cher decides to introduce Ty to Elton, whose father is the owner of concert halls. The girl specially arranges a photo shoot, forcing her new girlfriend sit closer to the guy and ask Elton to hug Ty. When Cher takes the girl aside, Elton asks her to take a single photo of Ty especially for him, which leads the girls into complete delight. Cher brings Ty to her house. Diane calls, who says she's in Elton's locker. Someone saw Ty's picture pasted on, which makes Cher happy. In the evening, friends go to a party. Along the way, Cher teaches how to make Elton pay attention to himself. Travis greets the girls, offering to bring them something to drink. But this crooked-armed and eternally stoned kid accidentally spills a cocktail on Cher's shoes, which upsets the girl very much. Elton is also here. Having noticed, Cher asks Ty to laugh, as if Travis is telling her something funny. Elton approaches them, and one of the girls offers to play suckers. Everyone passes the card to each other, and Elton specifically releases it to kiss Cher on the lips, which annoys the girl very much. Her father calls, demanding that Cher return home immediately, as it is already late. Diane and her boyfriend are staying at the party, so Cher asks Elton for a ride. The girl meets her classmate, who will give Ty a ride home, and Cher goes with Elton. On the way, the girl praises Ty in every possible way. To this, Elton makes it clear that she and Ty come from different backgrounds and can't be together. Not like him and Cher. Elton starts hitting on her and the girl jumps out of his car. Freaking out, the guy leaves, leaving Cher alone in an unfamiliar place. The girl decides to call the information desk to find out the number of the local taxi company, but an armed robber appears and takes both the girl's phone and purse. Cher can't call her father, because if he finds out exactly where his daughter was at the party, then she's finished. Cher calls Josh, who comes to pick her up with his girlfriend. The next morning at school, Cher tells her friends about Elton's words about Ty. To calm the girl down, Cher suggests skipping classes. They go to a restaurant, where they hear a song, to which he and Elton danced yesterday. Ty starts to get hysterical again. Cher decides to find a new boyfriend for her friend by all means. Reflecting on the discussion lesson about where to look for him, Cher makes eye contact with new student Christian, which makes the girl think that it would be nice to look for a boyfriend for yourself. Using all her skills, Cher begins to seduce the new guy. Receptions are working and Christian invites Cher for a walk. A guy comes to pick up a girl at her father's mansion, where Mel, several employees, and Josh are sorting out an urgent case. When the couple leaves, Josh goes after them to keep an eye on Cher, which Mel totally agrees with. At the dance, Cher meets Ty. There they also notice Elton dancing with Amber, Cher's eternal rival. Ty notices Josh, who asks the girl to dance, while Cher is busy with Christian, leaving her new boyfriend to dance on. Cher, Ty and Christian return home. On the way, Cher suggests Josh stop by and buy something for his father and his team to eat, who are still cleaning up the case. A few days later, Christian calls the girl. The guy offers to meet at Cher's and watch the movies that he will bring with him. While watching the video, Cher starts touching Christian's leg, and then says that her feet are just frozen. Covering them with a pillow, Christian asks you not to get distracted, because now it will be the most interesting thing. As soon as Cher starts talking about the cupcake, the guy immediately gets up and leaves, which causes confusion in Cher. The girl tells Diane about this in the morning, admitting that she almost had a cupcake with Christian. Upon hearing this, Murray starts laughing, as almost everyone already knows that Christian wasn't into girls, but despite that, Cher continued dating him. One day, in a shopping mall, Cher and Christian noticed two guys hanging Ty over the railing for a joke. Running up to them, Christina saves the girl. Because of this incident, all the attention at school shifted to Ty. The girl even makes fun of Travis, whom she has always liked. Because of her depressed state, Cher flunks the driver's license exam. When she gets home, she meets Ty and Josh. Ty asks Cher for help on how to get Josh, as she likes the guy. Cher doesn't think they're right for each other, which is why Ty is rude about Cher's virginity. To clear her head, Cher goes for a walk around the city, but all her thoughts are occupied only by Josh, who is not suitable in any way. Ty and the girl realizes that she herself is in love with the guy. In any other case, Cher would have dressed up in her best dress, and she used all her seduction skills, but she can't do that to Josh. While helping to sort out their father's case, Josh and Cher begin to tease each other. Looking at them, the assistant Mela starts scolding the girl for ruining everything with her help, and because of her, they lost a whole day calling her a fool. Leaving the mansion, Mel's assistant says that if Josh wasn't flirting with a girl, then she wouldn't have bothered them. Josh sits next to Cher, trying to calm her down, which leads to their kiss. At Mr. Hall and Mrs. Geist's wedding, Cher, Diane, and Ty discuss what dresses will they get married in, which worries Murray, Josh and Travis. The throwing of the bouquet is announced, which Cher catches. That's where the movie ends.